Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Savvy Sales Lady Live. Let me get some little background music going here. I just love that music. It's called Whimsical. And that's how I'm kind of feeling today, is a little whimsical. For all of you who are new to the channel, welcome, welcome. I'm Christine Harrington, the Savvy Sales Lady, and I changed my banner to show 5 decades of successful selling. I had a birthday yesterday. Can you believe that? I've been selling for 50 years, and I've loved every minute of it. And I've built 3 $30 million books of business as well. So I'm happy to share with you today the perfect close. Yes, that's what we're going to talk about today, the perfect close. And I will stop the music. I'm going to guide you in turning uncomfortable conversations into confident conversations. So we're talking about the perfect close, and I'm not talking about some sleazy line that makes you feel like a used car salesman. We're not talking about that. I'm talking about a confident, aligned, earned moment that naturally leads your prospects to say yes. So I'm going to walk you through my 3-part closing framework, and I've used it for decades. Now, there's a secret ingredient that most salespeople don't do, and I'm going to share that with you today. Now, if you want today's show notes, then you can grab the link in the chat or comment perfect close, and I'll send you the link. And just to let everybody know, I always have a replay for you if you come into the podcast late. Yep, this is the Savvy Sales Lady Live. Okay, we are going to get down to it. And let me share with you what we're going to go over. This is about a natural way to close. We're going to talk about the biggest clothing myth, my top tool, the thing that most salespeople don't do, the 3-part closing framework, and a real client story that I'm going to share with you. Okay. I was trying to get rid of that banner. All right. So let's start with the biggest myth out there, okay? And that is the closing happens at the end. No, it does not. It starts at the very beginning. So if you're waiting until the final 5 minutes of a call to close or a face-to-face meeting to close, you've already lost the sale. Here's the truth. People don't buy at the end. They buy emotionally during the journey. Now, your job is to guide that journey clearly, confidently, and authentically. Remember, prospects don't know your sales process. It's up to you to tell them the next steps. Now, in the chat or in the comments, would you type yes if you've ever felt awkward or unsure when it was time to close. Would you do that now? Now let's shift again. Okay. Here's my secret ingredient. And I want to share that with you before we even get to the three-part framework. It's one of the top tools that I use today. And it's something I see even seasoned pros forgetting to do or don't do at all. Always, always, always tell a customer story, tell a customer success story that aligns with your prospect's pain point. Have those already prepared so that you can align a customer success story to a client or to a prospect pain point. Why? Why is this important? Because stories bypass resistance. They create instant connection. And they help your prospects see themselves in the solution. So you're just not pitching a product. What you're really doing is you're proving it works with real world results. Now, here's an example. All right, this is a story I recently told when I was going through a prospect in a closing situation, my three-part close. Just the other week, I worked with a client, Robert, who was struggling to convert. Let me do that again. Just the other week, I worked with client Robert, who was struggling to convert discovery calls into clients. We tweaked his close. We added this one small shift, and he landed 3 clients in 1 week. Now, I knew you'd relate to that because you mentioned struggling with follow-up and struggling with follow-through. That's an example of a client success story that I share. What I want to challenge you to do is come up with your own customer success story. Now, when can you use and fold this customer success story into the sales conversation? Well, if you struggle with how to transition into the close, it's a perfect way to transition into a close. You share a customer success story that aligns with the client or with the prospect's pain point. Now, if you will put in the chat or the comment section, just put in there who is not using stories in their close. Be honest. Drop a no if this just hit you, right? If you have not used stories, tell me in the comments. And if you want today's show notes, you can grab the link in the chat or comment perfect close in the comments, and I'll send you the link. That way you don't have to keep taking notes. Use storytelling, client success storytelling as a way to transition into a close. Now let's go to the next item. All righty. Now we're going to get into the 3-part closing framework. So we've talked about the biggest myth, my top tool, telling a story. We're going to get into the 3-part closing now and then end, or I should say, follow up with a real client story. So here is the 3-step process we're going to go over. Number 1, confirm the value. The echo close is how I call it. Number 2, invite the decision. I call it the gentle nudge. And then 3, clarify the next step. This is called the clean close. All right, let's go over those. These are 3 simple steps that you'll be able to remember, and it's all in the show notes if you want to download it. So number 1, confirm the value, the echo close. You're going to say something like, so just to recap, you're looking to improve consistency and avoid the revenue roller coaster. What we walked through today gives you the structure to make that happen. Is that right? Clarifying. This is where you echo back their goals and let them nod into an agreement. All right, then we're going to go to number 2. You invite the decision. That's the gentle nudge. Would it make sense to get started so you can begin seeing results this month? Let me say that again. Have you noticed I'm having trouble talking? Would it make sense to get started so you can begin seeing results this month? You're not pushing. What you're doing is you're guiding. And then step 3, clarify the next step. That's the clean close. Remember, they don't know your process. You have to teach them each step in your process. So it sounds like this. Let's go ahead and schedule your onboarding call. Does Tuesday or Thursday work better for you? Clarity is kindness. Uncertainty kills deals. End with confidence and specifics. So let's put it all together. So just to recap, you're looking to improve consistency and avoid the revenue roller coaster. What we walked through today gives you the structure to make that happen. Is that right? Great. Would it make sense to get started so you can begin seeing results this month? Okay, well, let's go ahead and schedule your onboarding call. Does Tuesday or Thursday work better for you? See how that's just a natural 3-step perfect sales close, right? So if you will, in the chat or the comment, which part of the close do you think that you have a tendency to skip or hesitate on? Would you let me know in the comment or the chat? So that's the 3-step process. All right. We still have more. Stay with me. The Savvy Sales Lady live. Let's get to my real life client story. I got another one for you here. So my client, who wishes to remain anonymous because her employer's strict promotion guidelines, and she kept batting 0 booking appointments. I do have a video to show you though. So what was happening? Well, she wasn't asking enough questions, first of all, and she wasn't building trust during the call because instead of having a conversation, she talked at the prospect, giving way too much information. In other words, she followed a script instead of developing the call naturally. So what happened? She came to me for coaching. We changed a few things. She ditched her sales script and focused on small phrases that led the prospect to book an appointment. She went from 0 bookings to booking more appointments easily. Now, I'm going to let you hear from her now. And to protect her identity, because her employer is strict about promotionals, I've added an overlay to her testimonial. So let me play that for you now.
So my coaching with Christine so far has been really, really great. I'm not completely new to sales. I'm just looking to hone in on my process, and I found her really helpful in terms of helping me dissect my cold calls, improve on them, improve in my general sales process. And we're going through our demo process and improving that just to become an overall better salesperson. I found her timely and really insightful and helpful in all of her tips.
Okay. That was my client who needed to stay anonymous. She has really embraced coaching and is doing so well. She follows all of my suggestions and instructions, and she's having success. So let's get back to a natural way to close. I want to hear from you. Where do you get stuck when it comes to coaching? I'm sorry. Where do you get stuck when it comes to closing? I got coaching on the mind today. Is it confidence? Is it clarity? Is it timing? Is it you just feel nervous about moving to a close? I hope this 3-step perfect sales close will help you feel more comfortable and more natural about moving to a close. Now, here's a warning. Do not do this too soon. You want to make sure that you ask adequate amount of questions in order to determine whether this is a good fit for you or not, a good fit for your product or service. You can use this 3-step perfect sales close, whether it's booking an appointment or the final part of the sales process in closing the deal. All you have to do is just change the wording around a little bit. That's it. That's all you have to do. Easy to remember once you've done it over and over. Now, if you're new to this type of a close, then download my show notes and copy out what it is that I say in the show notes and keep those as a cheat sheet for you. Easy to do, right? So let's move to our next segment. Here's the call to action, everyone. If you want to take everything we talked about today and turn it into results, here's how to go deeper. First, download my show notes from today so you can begin using these tips immediately. Immediately, you can use these. The link is in the comments and in the description area of the video once the live stream is over. But if you want to go deeper into how to have a sales conversation, then I would suggest that you unlock my limited time free access to Cold Call Masterclass. Now, it's about 2 modules that I've unlocked for free. And this walks you through real life call flow start to close. And then when you purchase the cold calling masterclass, you go even deeper into how to have a sales conversation. There's over 30 lessons in all in the cold call masterclass. I've gotten great reviews on this masterclass. But if you feel like you need more personalized help, then book a power coaching session with me. It's a one call that could change your next 10 closes. I'm serious. And in that power coaching session, I'll help you solve one problem. And if you have questions about my coaching and what that looks like, we can talk about that as well. So just remember, you're not here to hustle for yes. You're here to guide it with confidence, right? All right. So until next time, stay savvy and stick around for one more brief announcement. Here we go. Are you ready? Stay savvy. Imagine picking up the phone with total confidence and knowing what to say and how to say it. My Cold Call Masterclass has helped thousands of salespeople crush their goals and skyrocket their quotas. You'll walk away with my step-by-step method of how I close 26 deals in 9 days with only 52 prospects. And I've not done that once. I've done that many times. Ready to master cold calling? Why wait? Enroll in the Cold Calling Masterclass today, and you'll start closing deals tomorrow. Click the link below to join now. Let's make those calls count. I'll see you inside. Stay savvy.